They say success has many fathers, but failure is an orphan. But in the Malay Muslim community, when you fall, especially when you fall loudly, the whole family has something to say about it. Tonight's episode is about the things we wish we could take back and the things we had to lose to find ourselves. In 2020, our guests were at the center of a storm. In 2026, they are at the center of a transformation. But you can't have redemption without first looking at your regrets in the eye.
Regret can be a prison, but it can also be a teacher. And for these two guests, their regrets are on national television. We're talking about the burden of the delete button that doesn't exist in the real world. How do you stop running from your old self and start walking towards the man you're supposed to be? The Weekly Deen Show also supports Pertapis and their meaningful mission. And as Ramadan approaches, do consider supporting them and their meaningful work. Check them out at pertapis.org.sg.
But before we go into the episode, we are going to the streets to ask people what is their biggest mistake they wish people forgot.
Hi guys, I'm Nadira and this is Mike. So today we are on the streets asking people what is their biggest mistake that they wish people will forget in their life. Let's go! Okay, so the first question is, what is your biggest mistake that you wish everyone would forget about it?
I dated this guy in secondary school and he was my biggest mistake. Shout out to you.
Wow.
It's not a mistake, it was an embarrassing moment. People caught me talking to myself inside the train.
Wow. Then what was their reaction? Show skate?
No, they were just looking at me, so who is this person talking to?
Wow.
I was just stressed at that point of time, so I talked to myself.
I'm not used to wearing high heels because I'm a really tall girl. So like when I used my high heels, when I was climbing up the stairs, I kind of...
You're on the stairs? You're toppling from
Oh. And it's in front of like maybe like 200-300 people during COVID time.
Alright,
So I wish that people would forget it because some of my friends from back then still bring it up till now.
Biggest mistake is I think in the way that I handled a customer when I was serving them at a job that I used to work at.
Alright.
Yeah, I have a lot of allegations, but I'm just misunderstood. I'm not gonna go into details. So I just want you guys to know that if you hear people talking shit, don't give a fuck until you hear from that person's other side of the story. One night only. One night only.
It's gonna sound cliche, but I have no regrets, and I think everything happens for a reason. Whatever mistakes we make, we learn from it. The only mistake, if I had to choose a mistake, would be not believing in myself earlier.
It was dropping out of school. If I didn't do all that mistakes, right, I wouldn't be where I am in life right now. And alhamdulillah, I'm happy in life right now.
So this is what the streets has to say about their biggest mistakes that they wish everyone would forget about it. What do you guys think? Back to you, Dew.
And for our first guest, he's a very familiar face. He is an Al-Azhar graduate that carries the expectations of a community on his shoulders. When regret is tied to religious authority, the weight is doubled. He had to navigate the space between being a human who makes mistakes and started out as an Islamic scholar who guides others. Please welcome Din Norahim.
And also not forgetting a media trailblazer who learned that loud isn't always better. His journey to regret led him to create RR Unscripted, a space that he built very sincerely from what he was missing before. He's here to talk about the price of fame and the value of second chances. Welcome, Raja Razi.
Thank you. We are back on the same sofa.
Yeah, right. Thanks for the
So, with Ramadan coming up, I mean, this episode was inspired by Ramadan because when Ramadan comes out, a lot of people think about the past mistakes that we've done.
Yep.
How do we rewrite it? How do we apologize for the mistakes and so on and so forth? And with all of us being in the media scene, everybody knows that you guys are basically OGs of the Malay podcast scene. You guys were from a group called Okay Let's Go.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
And I'm sure being in the public eye for a while, for a long time actually, you've come across some limitations online and in public, which perhaps caused the ruckus as well. And since it's Ramadan, we want to talk about purifying ourselves and moving on from our regrets. For the both of you, perhaps you've had opinions that have angered the public. How do you then, or let's say, what was your thought process going into that? Did you think, oh, when I say this, it will cause the reaction that it did?
Okay, good question. First of all, we already moved on. That's all. That's the first disclaimer I have to put.
I haven't moved on.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what we learned. We have to say a lot of like disclaimers right now. This is what we have learned before. But back to your question, yes, this is like a 2 years ago experience, right? So it's a really wild ups and down experience being in, opening up a podcast called Okay Let's Go, and that time like nobody else understand what this podcast all about. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, we remember that time we were just three of us sitting in a coffee shop like, hey, what to do after this? I think we got passion in audiotainment. So let's do podcast lah. Then like, podcast, I said, then you want to listen to what? So our direction is the podcast from America, 50 is the 86 South Show.
Yeah.
So these three black dudes talking about whatever. So it's like, okay, this is our direction.
Yeah.
No, we don't want to do the same as what we did in radio. So we were back in radio for 9 years in MediaCorp. So and that's why it all started. And then the question is the content. What are you going to talk about? Sebab no one else doing podcast, right? So we don't know lah kan. Then kita just talk lah. Don't care, we don't know who's listening or whatever. So we just try our best to be in the limelight in a way lah.
Yeah.
And after that, after 2-3 sessions or programs or episodes, and then it went poof. And then, okay, this is where
after 3 episodes, I think we hit about 50,000.
50,000, right?
And at that time it was really huge, right? Because no one else was really doing podcasts.
So be careful of what you wish for, actually. So before even doing this podcast, I always like, God, give me something that I can, I want to be in the limelight, God. I always ask God for that, right?
Right.
Sekali, God kasih kan, then I cannot handle. How to handle that? Just 3 budak Melayu, not even in the mainstream market. We just like budak Melayu talking cock in the podcast scene, and then suddenly, boom, kan? Then everyone loves this podcast, Okay Let's Go and whatever. And we thought that people love the trash talk. That is concept that people look. That's why we are so-called viral at that time, right? Then we just talk anything about this, about that, and whatever. Sampailah kena cancel. You know what I mean? Then we are like, apa ni? We really don't know. Yeah.
For some context to the audience watching, so they got cancelled for saying some misogynistic comments. And
Astaghfirullahaladzim.
So, I mean, it got really huge to the point where the president of Singapore asked them to do an apology to whoever that they have offended.
Yes.
Yeah. So would you say, right, out of the entire Okay Let's Go career, right, that would be your biggest mistake?
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
Okay.
So again it is like a budak teenager doing anything that they want, the kind of thing until something happened to them, then diorang rasa macam menyesal. So this is exactly what happened to us because there's no boundaries, there's no direction that where we're going to go, and we just talk and whatever, and then this thing happened. Then tu kita rasa macam we had a cuti for 2 weeks just to sit, 3 of us like, that's it, our career.
Oh, that 2 weeks, we were going through hell actually because we were at home and not doing anything. Because sponsors all stopped our recording for the time being. We just let everything settle down. So the problem for me is I love to read comments. Like for Dane and her partner, you don't like to read comments, right? So I love to read comments, and it really hit me hard, bro. Because we were criticized, my families were criticized, kids, wife, even my mom, my dad, they criticized everybody. So what happened was we decided to come down to studio again, just to sit down and just relax. Don't stay at home and doing nothing.
And we were scared of even
we were afraid.
Be back on the microphone and even want to talk something.
Trauma.
Yeah, and the trauma is real until one, I had a call from my daughter's principal.
God damn.
Seriously, they are not comfortable. The parents were not comfortable me being there at school.
Oh dear.
I'm just want to fetch my daughter. And the mummies that time, they were not like comfortable because of what we did. And that's why I'm like, that's not right, man. Because it's just you know lah. I mean, we all in the media world where whatever we say in the podcast and whatsoever, it's just a show. That's what we felt at that time. Then and then when we go out on the streets, and even to the extent where the principal of my daughter's school called me and they said that she said that some of the parents are not comfortable with me being there, just being there, you know. So I'm like, apa asal ni? And then my wife, the punya principal, also like talk to her, like associate with me, right? So I'm like, this is not right.
But they're uncomfortable with you being there. Or the other parents lah, not necessarily for the kids lah. So the other parents are making noise that you are there.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's okay. Coming from a woman's perspective, perhaps what you said had a pretty logical reaction from the public because perhaps you weren't really sure of what you were saying, but other people have their own opinions.
Yeah.
So when you say those kind of things, of course they're going to react that way, right?
Of course.
And of course, starting a podcast, you think it's just about having a lepak conversation with people.
Yeah.
But when the height of all this happened, when everything exploded, what has this taught you about the impact on social media to your viewers out there, or like to the people out there? Do you think like you had that much power to impact people to the point where you had to apologize publicly?
Yeah, at first, of course not. We were just like three boys, like nothing, like then suddenly people give a F about it.
So how has this like changed your perspective on social media as a whole?
It changes it changed drastically lah.
Yeah.
Like then after that you can see the concept of that the podcast. Okay, let's do is really change. Now we talk about values and whatsoever. So we just want to have. We are trying our best to change people's perspective of us. You know what I mean? So but it's a super hard thing to do. Once like human being once people see you like you're doing bad things, until now people will still remember. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, of course, like right now I'm doing Saturday, right, and doing Islamic podcast and whatsoever. But still, there are some people might have like, this guy okay or not? Still okay or not? You know? I mean,
Out of the three of you guys, did you feel it the most because you are Islamic scholar? So then expectations on you will be higher, no? Like, okay, this guy is an Islamic scholar. He could have been an ustad, right?
Okay.
That's a very good question.
And then he started a podcast, and then he made misogynistic comments. Isn't that one of the biggest rule of Islam? Is to not objectify women. And then you did that. So, did it hit you the hardest?
I mean, that's the only way they want to bring me down lah. You know, netizen kan, they always find something like, what's the thing that I can make you to show that I really hate you, and this is the part lah. Dia macam okay, kau start apa dulu, then why you do this perangai whatsoever lah. Yes, I did. I mean, like since during the days in Mediacorp also I kena already. Why you are dancing on the stage? Why you doing that? You're an Al-Azhar student, right? So then after that I do okay, let's go lagi lah teruk kan. But the impact is really bad. But sometimes as a human being I just like you don't know me lah. You don't know lah. You don't know what I've been through and whatever lah. So I just ignore lah.
Do you think what happened had to happen?
Okay.
Now in retrospect, right?
Yeah.
You think about it, right? If it didn't happen, what will stay or what will change?
For me, this is like a learning journey for me lah. I mean, of course lah. Whatever I done, of course, a bit of like I regret lah. But of course, as a Muslim, right? This is what I learned. I write down right now, right? Kita kena macam I cannot keep on punishing myself. If let's say I've been thinking about always think about ni orang kan tak suka aku kan. So it's as a Muslim, it's not a right thing to do lah, because it's like punishing yourself whatever you have done before. So kita just have to move on, regret whatever you've done, move forward and hate whatever bad things you have done before. So this is the way of taubah, So I practice that lah. So and whatever people say, just like okay lah, this is a new me. So lagi in 2026, I want to build a better programs for the Muslim community and whatever people say is like okay, now this is new me. I don't care. This is just between me and God. You know what I mean? That's it.
And for Raja Razi,
Yes.
you have a new vodcast called RR Unscripted.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a bit about that?
Basically this is a new concept that I started. Just walk around anywhere in Singapore and just talk to any random people in the public.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically
Vlogging kira.
just vlogging.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have to introduce like, hey hi, I'm here, I'm in Tekka Market and this is like Sakuntala for example. Everybody knows what is Sakuntala, right? But just imagine like me walking and I saw one guy standing there and talk to him. Actually he was like, for example, he want to commit suicide, for example. Yeah, then I say why? Then I mean for now I didn't get to catch that kind of character, but that's my point, you know. I walk around everywhere and I managed to interview interesting people. Like recently I went to Geylang Lorong. Yeah, so I thought there's this one Malay lady was waiting for someone. Actually she was working there, you know. It's a Singaporean lady. So we get to know more about her and give her some advice, and everybody gave her some advice, motivate her and want to transfer her some funds, you know. So I managed to help people. So that's my concept. So actually my goal for Unscripted is in the long run, I'll not just be in Singapore. I'll go to Malaysia, I'll just go to Indonesia. In the long run, just to get big clients who don't want to splurge money on me to help people, see? Yeah, I mean, you know like Aisa Khalid, right?
Yes.
But he's more in Indonesia, right?
Yes,
so I plan to do it in Malaysia.
I see.
Yeah, that's my goal actually.
So
That's my
this
direction.
project is to basically get stories from the people in the community
Yes,
that are not really heard.
Right.
Is it something that you resonate with, of like not feeling heard, feeling misunderstood?
Actually, not really, because for me, I love to talk to people and I'm very approachable. So if let's say I approach this person and he say, sorry, I don't want to be in the camera. Oh, sorry, paisi. Oh, bang, sorry bang, minta maaf I can do that, you see. I will not be angry or what, like, you know. I'll be okay.
Right.
So
When you start RR Unscripted,
Yeah.
is it more to clean up your image online? Or is it to let the audience know like, oh, you genuinely want to have stories from the public, you want to know about the community, or is it just to clean up your image?
Okay, to clean up my image, partly lah, few percentage to clean up my image because I want to show people, okay, that.
I also don't know. Okay.
Yeah, you don't know,
I don't know.
I'm telling you now lah.
Yelah.
Yeah, just to clean up my image because I want to tell people that I'm still not afraid to go out and talk to you guys. Partly of my grassroots is I still do wedding, you see. So when I do wedding MC, I still meet people. So I will observe, okay, these people, they are still okay with me. Then when I walk around in the public, you know, bro, when I talk to any random people, like, bro, sometimes I feel that they don't like me. But when I approach them, I talk to them, and I just ask them a few questions, and they are very friendly. So meaning they can still accept me.
Right.
In Singapore, in our Malay community.
So kira kan it's like exposure therapy lah. The more you're outside, the more you realize actually the world is not that scary anymore. The world is not that cruel, and people can move on from all these.
Yeah, and in Singapore, I feel, Sofi, okay, let's say right in front of me is a hater, but he or she will not show me directly face to face that they hate me. They will just smile. But maybe at the back they say, apa sih Raja Razi. Example, that's the good thing about Singaporeans.
Is it a good thing?
To me,
isn't it like
bro, I mean, hypocrite is okay. What do you feel?
Okay, the question is back to you lah. Macam, okay, right now you're doing this Weekly Deen Show, doing like, you know, hosting a kind of like Islamic program also lah. So people like question you lah, or they like, Dew, okay, boleh ke? Like he liberal is like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You had that like.
I mean, when I started doing this show, people thought I was really going through a journey of, you know, finding religion again.
People are praying for you, bro.
Yeah. So as in, they're not wrong, but they're also not right. You get what I mean? At the end of the day, it's still a job. Right. So I'm doing this, but as I'm doing the job, I am learning. So I do carry some of the knowledge when I go out of the studio, right?
Right.
But I do have, you see some questions like, I thought you were finding religion again, this and that. Why do you still party? Why do you still have so many girls around you and stuff like that? But I'm like, I feel like if I go into the extreme, then I feel like it's fake. You get what I mean?
Right.
So I get why they are asking.
Okay.
Because they have this perception or this idea that, I'm buying into the Weekly Deen Show because you are on your journey.
Okay.
Right? And it's nothing wrong at all.
Right.
I'm not saying that we are lying. We are not lying.
Right.
It's just that what they see online versus what they see offline is two different things.
Right.
Right? So I don't blame them for maybe in front of Razi, they pretend that they like Razi because I think maybe they're also thinking about it. Like, why are we truly hating on these people when it's just online content?
Yeah.
Right? Have they really offended us? Not really. Yeah, they have said some stupid things, but have they really offended my family or me or anything? If it's a no lah, so then why must we express hate to these people?
Right.
Yeah. Out of my, 10 years of being online,
Okay.
never met anyone that go up straight to me and say, hey, fuck you lah.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Never. The worst, I wouldn't say the worst lah. Okay, the best example that I have, right, is during elections, online, I openly say that I'm a PAP supporter.
Okay.
So then I went to a WP rally. Okay, this couple came up to me and said, hey bro, you not PAP dog one man? Why you here at WP rally? I'm like, whoa. I said, you're so serious about this political thing. I'm like, of course, who goes to a PAP rally? Because you already know the rules and everything, right? So I'm here at the WP rally to hear what they have to say lah.
Right.
So I say that, why would you come up to me and ask me this kind of questions? So they just say, oh no, we just thought you were a PAP supporter and maybe you don't belong here. That's the worst I ever kena. Yeah.
That you don't belong there.
Yeah, that I don't belong.
Just because you have different political opinions.
Yes.
So how do you react?
My eyes just open like that. I'm like, that's so weird. Like, okay, that was when I learned that the WP supporters are really die hard. Hardcore.
Yeah.
Because I don't think any PAP supporters, where if we know that someone supports WP and come to the PAP rally, I don't think we will go, hey, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
It's not a divide that we are causing, right? It's like, okay, you're here to listen, maybe you support the PAP, like, whatever lah, just come lah. But I want to say that I don't understand them, but at the same time, I also understand them. I think some people, maybe they're socially awkward. They just say whatever the first thing that comes to their mind.
Yeah.
And I forgive them for that. Like, it's like, whatever lah.
So how about you? So this is like, I'm quite curious also.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this is an open discussion. If let's say, okay, right now you are in Weekly Deen Show doing this Islamic program or whatsoever. So do you portray yourself as a good girl
Like
outside?
a religious.
I'm very religious right now. Or do you know,
I think
this is who I am. Do you need to do that or not?
I think coming onto this show, I had my only mindset was that I wanted to learn. So despite wherever I am religiously or not, I know that I'm here to learn from experts and to perhaps reflect on my own values and in religion and beliefs lah. You know, we are not perfect Muslims. I mean, I've had my ups and downs. Religiously, spiritually, I'm not the best at everything, but it doesn't mean that I'm not trying. And I think everyone is entitled to their own opinions, you know. For me, personally, I feel like coming onto this show, I have a cognitive dissonance. Like, am I meant to be here? I'm not the most religious person that I know. There are so many other people out there with so much knowledge on religion, and yet they're not given this opportunity. So then I start to question, why are we here? Why are me and Dew here? We were probably the last people that people expected to have an Islamic show. And yet, we were given this opportunity. So I think what I want to say is, out of all this, I think everything does happen for a reason.
Yeah,
Everyone is entitled to your own opinions, but at the end of the day, everyone is going through their own journey.
Yeah.
Whether you are religious, whether you are not religious, we are still trying. Right?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you know, like, okay, back then when we were doing this Okay Let's Go, of course we are creating a character in that particular show, right?
Yeah.
So we already decided, okay, we're gonna be this bad boy age, blah, 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 blah. And then that's it. And once we are done recording, we are ourselves, right? But people, listeners are really, they took this like super seriously about a show. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I think at the end of the day also, like, I think it also took me very long to understand that no matter what you do online, right, you have a certain sort of responsibility. Especially if you guys are OGs, right? So, like, back then in 2016 when I started my talk show on YouTube, I also like you guys, I say whatever I want, right?
Right.
Got called out so many times. But I think where I see the difference is, right, is that when I did talk about women, I spoke about my exes. And I spoke from my experience. My ex did this to me, and I reacted this way.
Okay.
Valid or not, right? Anybody can say whatever. Like, but to me, at that point of time, based on my maturity, my ex did this to me, I think she's a bitch.
Oh.
I don't think I'm saying anything wrong lah.
Yeah.
That's my opinion because she did it. It didn't happen to you, it happened to me.
Yeah.
Right? And I think what I understood responsibility is, right, I cannot blanket my ex's behavior to all women. So for example, if let's say my ex dressed very sluttily, I cannot say all women are sluts.
Yeah.
That's the kind of responsibility I need to hold.
Right.
Similarly to maybe I had one night stand and I think, oh, I can sleep with all the women because most women are like that. Then that is you're not being responsible here. Like you cannot say this about these type of things, right? And on this topic of responsibility, right? Based on what happened to you guys, what's maybe 2 to 3 things, right? The most important things that you guys carry over in the current shows that you guys do now. So are you guys way more careful? What are some lines you guys don't cross? What are some topics you guys don't touch?
Of course, we are more careful lah. Even right now also, I'm like super scared like, am I saying it right or whatever? Or because we know that right now, people are, diorang macam dah standby tau. Like, okay, because
Like we feel like they want to try to get your mistakes.
I always have that thinking. Like mesti ada something, sama benda bodoh sikit aja. People are like, okay. So that's why right now macam of course we are super careful. You know that time where we shared a reel about you talking about the pork thingy. Like very fast where people like, diorang tak ada macam fikir macam, no lah, dia might be change, dia dah change ke apa, tak ada langsung. You always like bash. So macam, alamak kesian you member kau ni, alamak you kesian, seriously. So right now it's the same thing. Like this is where right now 2026 where the world are always watching us like finding benda-benda nitty-gritty stuff just to whack you. I feel that way lah. I don't know lah.
But that's just the entertainment industry as a whole, right?
I mean, my show got cancelled. One of my episodes got cancelled because I interviewed this lady called Mas Factor. My intention,
you know about it,
Yeah, I know Mas.
my intention is to clear her name. I have I sincerely want to clear her name because she was bashed during TikTok live and everything. So when we recorded, unscripted meaning there's no editing. That's my concept. Okay. So when we record A to Z, it's very raw, very genuine.
Genuine, very real.
Yeah, there's no editing. So at the last part, she did said something which makes people cancel my unscripted lah. Basically, she did say about how she wants to satisfy herself.
Oh dear.
So this is exclusive. Okay, exclusive guys. That's what she said, and this is how I satisfy herself. Basically, so I was like, okay. So at the point of time, it was very new. Then I was thinking, should I edit or not? Or it doesn't even cross my mind. So I just posted on YouTube. So it went viral. So after a while, I have to bring down. After 4 days, I bring down the video and.
I think people perception kat engkau that time is like, oh, Razi tak belajar daripada apa dulu. That's why you're talking about responsibility lah. Macam,
responsibility
apa yang kau nak keluar dekat online tu, kau kena responsible of what you do.
Correct.
People akan ingat apa yang kau buat lah.
Wait, so Mas Factor, like, she volunteered to say how she satisfied herself. What's wrong with that?
That's the thing. So
I don't see any. Okay.
No, people comment like Razi shouldn't show that.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's
no,
your
but
opinion.
she's the guest, right? You practice self-censorship. You share what you don't want to share. You share what you want to share, lah. But and if you share, that is how you satisfy yourself. It's on you, what?
Yeah.
On my show, you come to on my show, you share this. It's on you. It's not on me, no.
But what I got from the netizens was they say that as a podcaster, experienced podcaster as an OG, you have to be experienced enough to edit that part. So it becomes my mistake.
Is it because she's a hijabi?
No.
She's not a hijabi.
She was wearing hijab at that point of time. Yeah, she wore hijab and after that she take it out. Maybe she have her personal reasons. Yeah, but that was what I got. So every bash me, they do memes about me. They even put my photo there with Mas Factor together, like there's a love sign, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Perhaps people would have your reaction if they were more liberal. But I think for the target audience that we have, especially the Malay culture, everyone is very conservative, they're very traditional. So when you talk about topics that are very sexual in nature, people are uncomfortable because it's not something that we're used to. It's not something that people talk about in public because it's haram,
Yeah.
about engaging in sexual relations before marriage.
So
And
then
talking
is it
about
like-
it's kind of embarrassing.
Isn't it like very selective then? Because I can think of so many people who go on TikTok and talk about the sex life. What?
You're right, bro. You're right.
Yeah.
But they don't have the same target audience, perhaps.
Yes.
You know,
I
on
mean,
TikTok, everyone is watching like from all over the world.
Dew punya demographic, the one who followed him, and Raja Razi is two different world, bro. World, no.
Okay, I just want to ask. So if let's say Dew
we need to understand your crowd, your audience, something like that.
If Dew interviewed Mas Factor here, then she said that
Okay.
for her to certify herself, this is how she do it. I mean, she don't really said like how she do it, no, okay, but she said that it's not specific lah. So you think Dew will get cancelled?
Again, the audience is different.
But on this show, I think I might.
On this show.
On this show, I think I might.
Right. It's like you're doing a show different when you do a talk show in a mosque versus do a stand-up comedy at a club.
Yeah.
Different audience, right?
I think the problem here is, right, again on responsibility, right?
Exactly.
I think people assume, or rather join these two things together, which is Malay and Muslim.
Okay.
Once people think you're Malay, you're Muslim. Which is, honestly, in Singapore, most of the time you're correct, right? But not all Muslims are the same. So once they see that you are Malay, right, they will expect you to carry the responsibility of an Islam man or woman.
Yeah.
And once you don't, that's when they come and attack you.
Right.
Yeah. So I think I'm not telling them to see it differently. It's just that, yeah, he can be Malay, he can be Muslim, maybe it's just different lah.
Yeah, we had the same idea last time during that time yang kita kena cancel because of being, I don't like that word, misogynist or whatever lah kan. Okay, what if we had that conversation about what if the three boys are not Malay? They were three Mat Saleh doing okay, let's go, talking about that. Do you think that they will kena?
No, I don't think so.
Exactly. So, but it's the same topic, what?
Yeah.
I don't think
So
it's
is it selective, like what you mentioned? Like,
I don't think it's selective, but it's more of culture comes in so important when it comes to audience, when it comes to social media, because different culture will react differently to certain topics. So it's not the topic that's the problem. It's the people managing the conversation and the culture that you are trying to talk to. I feel like once you know your audience, you have to know what their mindset and what their beliefs are, and that's the whole reason why they watch your show, is because they trust you. Like they trust that you can have valuable content to talk about. They trust that you know what you're talking about and that you can teach the public, because your audience range from different ages, you know. There's like young kids watching it, there's older people watching it. So when you do talk about these kind of things coming from our culture, Malay culture, Islam, when you say we talk about sexual relations, when you talk about things that are not conservative, people be like,
careful,
what are you teaching the younger generation? You know, why it's harder to break out of traditional, you know.
Yeah, we also had this conversation. If let's say, okay, satu Mat Saleh, okay, if this Mat Saleh or whatever, you know, talking about this thing, they won't kena. Okay, another one is if let's say the female podcaster talking about men pula, kena or not kena?
No,
Usually
I don't think they will get cancelled.
Okay, again, I memang regret lah apa yang kita pernah buat.
Of course,
Bagi disclaimer, memang.
Of course.
Tapi kadang-kadang kita fikir macam, okay, kalau then we also watch like other, I mean our fellow friends lah, yourself, whatever, macam, dia ni boleh berbual apa pasal benda ni? Asal kita tak boleh? Asal kita kena? You know, macam diorang semua boleh macam, wah, this one so happily talking about whatever. This actually lebih kurang sama pun the topic, right?
Okay, what do you feel, you? Like three women talking in a podcast, objectifying men. Will they get cancelled, do you think?
How do women objectify men?
I don't know, maybe they say that, I think she's so fat, for example.
I want men with a big dick.
Yeah, something like that.
For example. Because my ex have a small dick, example.
I want men who are rich, big dick, high value men, whatever it is lah. Isn't that objectifying men? It is. Same.
You can say that, I mean, women do talk about men's bodies, but I feel like, okay, hot take, when women or when men talk about women, it's very aggressive. Like they will come off as, like they will say words that's not very nice lah. You know, they will talk about how sexually active they are and then shame them for it, or they will say like, wah, like perempuan ni apa, like not useful, say like this person is you know, like perhaps they might target the character instead of the body and all that. People are not.
So that's why, okay. So back to the topic about nak kena remorse atau regret or whatever we did. So sometimes, okay, kita dah regret. So bila kita tengok lain, kita tengok podcast lain ke whatever lah, macam YouTube ke, macam, ni boleh ni. Habis aku regret apa? You know, something like that. Macam, dia ni boleh tak kena pun. So sometimes, I mean, we felt that way lah.
We can understand that there's gender differences in content, obviously. Like when women talk about men, perhaps there's less consequences rather than men talking about women. And that is just something that is the truth. But I feel like certain content where men talk about women, because women are already struggling in their daily lives, whenever it comes to, let's say, being sexualized, or perhaps, I don't know, being objectified and all that kind of stuff, and then listening to men enable these kind of conversations online and then spreading it, I feel like, yeah, it's logical for women to do that way. Yeah. So I understand that the gender differences are very unfair.
I think, just to add on a bit, so we are doing digital content, right? Yeah. So sometimes we need to do something spicy.
Yeah, that's true.
Sensasi thing. We need to talk about that. If not, if you like, okay, kwai, bayi, people won't watch.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean? So that's also another challenge. You know what I mean?
It's very easy to blur the lines between entertainment and being cocky. Right?
Yeah,
because sometimes when you are doing shows like this, it's not your real personality. It's probably heightened from what you're usually like in real life. Let's say, for example, you don't have these big conversations in real life saying like, oh yeah, women are, you don't like scream it out in public. Yeah. But when it comes to being in front of the camera, of course you want to be entertaining. Of course you want to have big reactions. But then you start to come up cocky. You start to become like, you start saying things that you wouldn't normally say in real life, and you will not think about your family when you say. You will not think about your nenek moyang, your whatever, your relatives when you say it, right? Yeah, so it's really easy to fall into that hole.
So again, sorry to drag this. I just another thing. Okay, so right now I'm doing Satudin, right? Okay, if you can see that in our YouTube channel, okay, so that's why I've been thinking. Okay, right now I want to do Islamic program. Okay, so first I kira macam okay, I want to sit with the ustaz. You talk about Islam. Then the views like, when versus I sit down with Sajad, you know Sajad, right?
Yeah.
Then the views like, macam baik gila lah. So I'm like, okay, audience aku nak Islam ke tak nak ni? Macam the Islamic, you know what I mean? Because last time when I was in Okay Let's Go There, some of the comments like, then go back to the roots lah, go do your Islamic program. Okay, you want that? Okay, now I do like super Islamic. Then by looking macam, tak banyak orang pun tengok. So kita nak kena, I mean as a digital content creator, I mean kita pun nak kena fikir macam, okay, sekarang kita nak fikir, okay, macam mana ni kita nak spice up the program? Ke kita nak teruskan dengan, jom education lah, tak apa. View sikit pun tak apa. So of course this is like a dilemma kan. Macam, that's the thing. So, even in the Weekly Deen Show, sama topik yang macam really terlalu Islamic sangat ke apa, macam the views tapi kita nak kena, we were also thinking like, how to spice up the thing. So that's the thing.
To play safe, dilemma, to play safe, the content would be paranormal to play safe.
I mean that one confirm fly lah. Confirm fly lah.
I think at the end of the day, right, if people feel like we said something wrong, this is something I learned also. Okay. If they felt like we said something wrong, then we did say something wrong. Right. Because I think as individuals or as hosts, as on shows or everything, right, the other thing that I learned is that, again, different people have different opinions. How you say it also matters.
Yes.
Whether you're intelligent enough to say, whether you did enough research to say it also counts. So if they felt like they were offended, then yes, like you have all rights to be offended.
Okay.
We also have the responsibility to explain ourselves on why we think this way. Yeah. So to the people at home watching, if you think that they are rewriting, if you think that they are rewriting the script of what had happened, no, they are not doing that.
No, we're not.
I think they're just sharing their experience on how that experience changed the way they do things, right?
Of course,
and on that topic, right? So, for example, this Islamic show that you're doing now, right? Is this again something that you're doing to rewrite your route? Is this like repentance that you're asking for, or what is it?
Yes.
Okay.
This is my taubat.
Allah.
I mean, forever. So because like, you know, we are all aging lah. So looking at the mirror, macam, I'm not like 10 years ago, 5 years ago, that kind of guy. Look at the mirror, macam, hey, you tua already lah. So you need to do something good lah. So this for me lah, personally lah. So that's why coming out with these kind of programs and whatsoever, it makes me like, okay, I want to be somebody that when I die, I want my children to say like, hey, this is my dad's work, man. Oh, this is something very valuable that that's Islamic punya program that my dad buat. You know what I mean? I don't want my children to say like, you know, hey, that's okay, let's go your father or whatever. I don't want to have that kind of history.
Yeah.
I would rather to have like a very a bit of Islamic skin, and where my family can enjoy sitting, in the living room watching Dew talking about Islamic programs. Hey, I produce this together with Dew and friends and Sofi, So these are something that I think I would like to have, would love to have. Actually.
What about you, Razi?
Yeah, it's to help the people out there lah. So I give myself like another 2 to 3 years. Yeah, to go out and look for people who can splurge a lot of money.
Diam lah.
Just to help people, anybody out there. Can be in Malaysia or Indonesia. That's my direction lah. So at least if let's say my kids grow, I become an adult or what, say that's my dad, although he's not dah tak ada kat dunia, kena meninggal lah. But at least I'm still proud of him. He's still there, helping people.
Yeah, exactly. When you reach 40s, I admit I really reach 40s already. So the way of thinking is different sikit lah. I don't know lah. For
Do
me
you feel like you've matured?
40.
Just 40
Huh?
40.
You're reaching
No lah, Dew is 30 Dew is 31
No, I mean seriously.
34
I mean when we reach that kind of age, dia punya mindset dah totally different. I mean,
I get what you mean.
I mean sometimes we sit down, we look at ourselves macam takkan lu nak gila-gila lagi and people will cringe. Even if you let's say this 40-ish guy going to a club, saya tak kena Kau nak faham kita macam then kau nak buat apa? Kau just baiki diri kau just be a better person at least kan, I don't want end up sometimes, I mean you can see kadang-kadang bawa blog pakcik-pakcik macam dah umur 60 plus whatever, still wearing a Metallica t-shirt and then drinking whatever. I don't know lah, I'm not stereotyping, tapi macam ada kan. For me during Ramadan, we can see some of the pakcik still drinking or eating at 2 PM, you know what I mean? So macam I don't want to be like that, man. Yeah, something like that lah. So kita nak buat something yang
If it's not Islamic, what do you think you will do? You don't know. Go back to radio.
If it's not Islamic
It's not Islamic content. So if satu din ni happen.
Kita buat macam motivational talk, at least something that can empower orang.
You told me that kau will be coming out your own show. But if it's not Islamic, you will have your own show, bro. That's what you told me before.
I think be the next Oprah Winfrey ke, something like that. So it don't have to be Islamic sangat lah. So of course the direction have to be something yang ada value to others lah. This is just that lah. Kena pada your age, you need to act your age, you know what I mean?
Actually, you're right, bro.
Yeah.
Your age.
How important is rewriting this idea people have of you based on what had happened lah? Was it your main motivation?
Exactly. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it is.
Do you feel like you're misunderstood?
Kira kalau aku nangis dah macam drama. Macam I don't know. Okay, right now I don't really care anymore whatever people want to, fikir pasal benda kau, because right now validation is not the main purpose of doing things lah. Of course last time 10 years ago macam muka muda macam Dew yourself ke macam of course you want validation, you want people to like you or whatever. So sekarang dah macam okay lah, I had our time lah. And we had our fun, 5,000 people watching our concert, bro. Just 3 of us, 5,000 orang datang to our show. And we had our Malaysians punya fan beratur panjang gila, ambil autograph. We had our fun already, done. So sekarang macam, apa kau nak buat siapa? You still want to okay let's go, let's play. Sial lah, tak ada. That doesn't fit the kid. So
dah tak kena lah.
Yeah, I think maybe lah. You will feel that one day lah. Seriously, macam.
I know.
Yeah, so we have fun. We learn a lot of things here and there. So I think that's it lah.
But I agree lah. I get what you mean lah. I'm only 34, but I'm feeling it already.
Sure?
Like the content that I do, I want it to have meaning. Versus
exactly right.
Just honestly, when you look at the Gen Zs now on TikTok, right, and they're just running their mouth, right. Not wrong, by the way. I'm like, okay, you all do what you have to do.
Right.
But while I watch it and while I judge it, right, and then I take a look at my old YouTube channel, I'm like, it's the same. It's the same. It's just different platform.
Yeah.
So then who are we to judge? It's like we needed to do that to get the millions of views. So now they are going to do it to get the millions of views. And then somewhere along the way, they will realize and they will start cleaning themselves up. And I think while it took me a while to develop this kind of sympathy or forgiveness to people, I also hope that people see it. Just give these people time. And mistakes need to happen for people to learn.
Exactly. You're right.
So I think I can speak for all of us here. I think we have done a lot of wrong things here, a lot of wrong things. But I don't think we regret the things that we've done.
We don't have to hold ourselves hostage to our past.
I think the hardest thing to do is to forgive yourself for doing it. I mean, you did it and it happened, right? I'm sure there's a lot of bad things that happened because of what you did, but there's also a lot of good things that happened because of what you did. The mistakes that you learn and the changes that you make were the good things.
The sad thing is, people don't really care about whatever good things you've done. People will still remember whatever bad things you know.
That's a
although it's been 10 years ago, people say, hey, lu yang macam gini kan, macam, tak aku dah berubah. No, that's why I say like, I don't really care about whatever people's opinion about us, because they, of course, who really like, you know, pat on your back saying like, hey, good job. It's rarely happen. People always like point fingers like, hey, you last time, you know. So that's why like, why do we really need to think about what other people might say or what will say, you know what I mean?
That's why your mistake, you know. But I this phrase they say, you can do 10 bad things, but if you do one wrong thing, it will bring you down. They don't care about your 10 bad things that you did. The 10 good things, sorry.
But I think with your example, it says more about them as a person than anything else.
Exactly.
I think if you expect people to change, you need to give them space to change. And really accept that they are trying to change. Because if you don't accept it, then it's on you lah. Right? Like if you really want us to change, okay, we are trying to change, give us time, we will change, give us space.
Yes.
But you also need to accept the change that is going to happen. Like you cannot bring up the past mistakes that we've done. Like we know. You really don't have to bring up. We know what we did. And like, of course, like change, I don't think it's linear. Like fuck ups will still happen now and then. And I guess as hosts, as influencers, as people in the media, we also need to take responsibility for that lah.
Right.
Good job.
And with that, with Ramadan coming up, if you guys have any mistakes that you guys have done and you guys cannot get over it, get over it.
I think what you is trying to say is that everyone is on their own journey. Whether you are an influencer, whether you have a podcast, or you're just a regular person day to day. Whatever it is, whenever you have regrets, just know that it is possible to repent and it is possible to move forward as long as you keep believing in yourself and in your progress.
Speaking of progress, both Dane and Razi are going to do a segment with our sponsors, Pertapis, on how they are changing lives.
Welcome to a segment where we explore the why, the what, and the how behind Pertapis. My name is Dean Rahim.
My name is Raja Razi.
And right now we are with someone that loves music. And of course, they love the community as well. So he was previously served as a Secretary General back in 2023, where he played an integral role in strengthening the organization's administrative processes and supporting board governance matters. And last year in 2025, he was appointed as the VP of Pertapis. In his current role, he works closely with the leadership team to provide strategic support, contribute to policy, governance discussions, and ensure continuity in advancing the organization's programs and initiatives. Very, very big words. In my mouth is like wow. But mashallah,
Ambiguous actually. It's quite ambiguous.
Kau suka pakai word tu ambiguous. And right now we are with Mr. Fazil. How are you, sir?
Alhamdulillah, good.
Alhamdulillah. And of course, the Weekly Deen Show, kita support kerja-kerja yang baik dari Pertapis. And once again, you can check out pertapis.org.sg. Dan kita nak berjumpa dengan Ramadan tak lama lagi. Okay, so how's your Ramadan prep, sir?
Masya Allah, this year is going to be quite a challenge.
Oh, why?
Because basically, it's beginning of the year, and this year ada clash with other festive season, very nearby, Chinese New Year, this and that.
Yes.
Valentine's Day. Astaghfirullahaladzim, you cannot celebrate that. Just my personal opinion.
And also, we are also concerned tentang nisbah zakat yang dinaikkan, pasal it's also pegged to gold. So, we might menjejaskan pungutan zakat kita, but kita percaya sokongan daripada masyarakat akan dapat membantulah untuk kita meneruskan perjuangan kita untuk membantu masyarakat yang kurang berupaya.
So right now as the VP of Pertapis, how would you describe your role in supporting the overall leadership of Pertapis?
As a VP, I dokong amanah atau mandate daripada my president and also the jawatankuasa yang ada, para exco, and to fulfill the role to strengthen up the team and also to support the initiative as well program. At the same time, we are also very, very strongly entrenched and believe that the welfare of our staff comes first. And kita percaya kalau kita dapat provide the best for our staff and the staff will produce the good work in order to produce the right result.
Right. So you can see Razi
Yes.
Mr. Fazil VP, lepas tu dia ada punya President Pertapis.
Right.
And then there will be there are a lot of ESCOs members under the wing of Pertapis, right?
Right.
All these are not paid, bro. They are all volunteering this mission to help people. You know how sincere they are.
Then how you manage to feed your family?
Alhamdulillah, all of us kita ada kerja kita sendiri, kita ada usaha kita sendiri. Ini adalah salah satu daripada perjuangan kita yang di mana kita ada waktu yang lebih untuk berbakti kepada masyarakat. It's basically paying it forward.
I mean, for personal basis, I mean, like yourself, what makes you like, okay, I want to do this volunteering. I want to do this for Pertapis.
It's the love for the community. It's a love for the community. Our community. We are actually not a major in Singapore. We are minority in Singapore.
Right.
So it takes all of us to work hand in hand together to uplift the community, to work together. So supaya community kita tak kebelakangan. And we sincerely dokong mandate daripada government that no Singaporean should be left behind.
Right.
Jadi yang di mana tercecer di belakang, kita cuba sedaya upaya untuk menyokong, membantu dan juga menyelaraskan program-program yang ada supaya sama-sama kita naik. We maju as a nation. Bersama-sama.
Yalah, kalau macam tak orang Islam membantu, siapa lagi nak bantu Zee?
Ya, betul.
Yeah, right. No, like right now in
But to volunteer pada aku, it's a bit kira heavy sebenarnya, but deep respect to you, Mr. Fazil.
Alhamdulillah.
Kerana masa yang ada tu sebenarnya boleh luangkan bersama keluarga lah. Kan after let's say your whatever job that you are doing, ada masa yang lebih tu actually to be with your family, but you chose to be with Pertapis.
Right.
Semata-mata untuk to guide all these people, untuk membantu lagi orang-orang yang memerlukan, at the same time all the old folks yang you guys house. Okay, and wow, this is like not paid job, bro.
Yeah, then alhamdulillah, so sekarang ni we know that Pertapis membantu lebih kurang 500 beneficiaries yang in need, right? So and on top of that, they have homes, the welfare homes lah untuk the elderlies, untuk for the boys homes and the girls homes as well.
Yes, correct.
So how what kind of help that they need? Let's talk about the homes lah, right? So and then let's talk about the
old folks
the old folks or even the boys home and the girls home lah kan. Okay. So what kind of need ataupun bantuan yang mereka memerlukan orang seperti ini?
Kebanyakannya resident, boleh katakan most of the residents is actually a provision from the government. Government yang hantar kepada kita dan bajet pun datang daripada government.
Okay.
Tapi the trophy is actually not for us, the volunteers. The trophy is actually not us in Pertapis. The trophy actually belongs to the community.
Right.
Kerana hidup dan bergeraknya Pertapis itu tadi di atas sokongan masyarakat. Masyarakat yang banyak membantu, menyelaraskan dan menghidupkan Pertapis. Dan sebab tu sampai hari ini Pertapis tetap relevan terhadap masyarakat, kepada masyarakat.
So for every year it must be a really very susah lah kan untuk what is your target in terms of amount, the cost yang korang nak kena make sure Pertapis keep on running. You know
Millions,
what I mean? Let's talk
millions.
about the annual cost lah. For let's talk about the 2025. Berapa cost?
Sebahagian peruntukan adalah datang daripada kerajaan dan kita adalah satu institusi yang di mana kita mempunyai IPC, Institute of Public Character, yang di mana kita dibenarkan untuk memungut dana daripada masyarakat.
Benda legit.
Without IPC kita tak boleh buat.
Yes.
Okay. Dan IPC status tu untuk kita dapat bukannya sesuatu yang mudah. Bermakna kita nak kena strengthen kita punya governance, kita nak kena ikut larasan undang-undang yang ada dan kita tak boleh lari atau pesong daripada the terms and the guideline. Itu yang membuat cabaran bagi kita. Jadi kita sentiasa nak pantau dan memastikan bahawa apa yang kita bikin tu adalah selaras lah. Itu yang cabaran paling besar lah.
How about the cost? Macam let's say lah, satu home tu berapa banyak nak kena bayar, berapa banyak. So at least mungkin tahun ni kita boleh target untuk semua yang sedang menonton untuk sama-sama membantulah.
Sebahagian daripada yang kita perlukan telah di cover oleh government. Sebahagian yang ada lagi kita memerlukan bantuan daripada masyarakat.
Hundreds of thousands ada, millions ada?
Millions lah. Tapi exact figure maybe not on this platform lah yang kita boleh berbualkan.
Tak, actually exact figure, kalau boleh kasih exact figure, kita cuba kumpul double.
Masya Allah.
Tapi aku percaya, I really believe that semua yang sedang menonton ni ada education agama. Ada education agama yang mereka tahu bahawasanya Tuhan akan bantu mereka yang membantu dalam jalan Tuhan.
Betul.
So these are the paths of yang Islam galakkan. Jadi oleh kerana dah tahu tentang bagusnya untuk bersedekah, tentang bagusnya untuk bantu mereka yang memerlukan, salurkan kepada tempat yang betul.
A bit personal question daripada saya, Cik Fazil. How long you've been in Pertapis?
Alhamdulillah boleh katakan lama juga.
Lama.
Saya berkecimpung dalam Pertapis sejak daripada tahun 2007. Tapi sementara 3 tahun selepas tu saya memulakan operasi di Hong Kong dan juga di Belanda. I leave Pertapis for a while sehingga recently our President Encik Shah menjemput saya kembalilah ke persatuan ini yang di mana dia percaya saya boleh contribute. I have something to give. And ketika tu saya pun dah ada free time. Company yang kat Hong Kong, kat Belanda pun dah stable. Then I come back. I come back. Then Alhamdulillah, I try my very best to give whatever that I can lah.
Encik Fazil memerlukan macam anak angkat ke apa untuk macam buat business partner ke apa, ada tak macam terfikir di Hong Kong?
Mudah-mudahan kalau ada, why not?
Baik, kita tak nak keluar kepada sasaran yang betul. What I'm trying to say is the Weekly Deen Show supports Pertapis and their meaningful mission. So ladies and gentlemen, as Ramadan approaches, do consider supporting their meaningful work. And you can check them out at pertapis.org.sg. Before we end this interview session, so maybe do you have any macam you punya motivation words, kata-kata motivasi untuk mereka yang menonton sekarang ini, khas untuk mereka yang ada niat macam 50-50 macam ni aku nak go for Pertapis ni macam mana, ada 50-50 macam mana?
Pasal Weekly Deen Show ni the viewers ada yang berumur 21 tahun tau, di atas. And there are bro. For your info brother. 21, as young as 21 years old bro. They watch Weekly Deen Show bro.
So why not invest for the akhirat as well? Because we never know, not only the old people go first, sometimes the young one go first.
Of course.
Then
who can gauge?
I like that word. Okay, silakan Mr. Fazil.
Saya percaya on my personal capacity, I believe berdirinya Pertapis adalah untuk masyarakat. Jadi kita memerlukan sokongan masyarakat untuk meneruskan perjuangan kita. Tanpa sokongan dan bantuan daripada masyarakat, maka pincanglah usaha kita. Kita berdiri untuk masyarakat dan kita memerlukan pertolongan daripada masyarakat.
Hidup Pertapis.
Hidup Pertapis. Alhamdulillah.
Dear friends, we are just a few days away from the blessed month of Ramadan. Are we ready to welcome the month of Ramadan? Now, many of the Ahl al-Tafsir have mentioned that it was in the month of Sha'ban that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the special ayat that we can find in Surah Al-Ahzab, verse 56, that commands us to recite the salawat for and to Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna 'alan nabi ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu 'alaihi wa sallimu taslima. Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik alaihi. So it is encouraged by the scholars and by the ulama of the deen that we increase our salawat and salutations to Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the month of Sha'ban as we are waiting for the coming of Ramadan, so that inshallah with the barakah of our recitation, after our du'as, after our salawat, after our reading of the Quran, it is to revive the love towards the Prophet Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so much so that as we meet Ramadan, we will be doing our greatest and our level best, inshallah, to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to seek His rida. So do not forget to recite more salawat in this month of Sha'ban as we wait for the arrival of Ramadan. So dear friends, as you know, the Weekly Deen Show supports Pertapis and their great community work. And as Ramadan is just a stone's throw away, let us continue to support their great and amazing work. Log on to pertapis.org.sg to find out more on how you can be part of their meaningful mission in Singapore. With me, Ustaz Fizar Zainal, let us welcome Ramadan. Ma'assalamah.
So now that we've talked about regrets and changes in the upcoming year, Dew, I want to ask you, is there something about yourself that you wish you want to change?
I don't know.
There's nothing? Not that you know of?
It's a journey, yeah.
It's a journey.
I think, like what I said earlier, right, mistakes need to happen first before I make the change.
Right.
So I think, I would like to think that whatever mistakes that I did, I try to rewrite it with good deeds, or I try not to do it again. Yeah.
What has being in the public eye taught you about being careful with your words and your actions?
Oh, so many things. I think when you ask people this question, most of them will say negative things.
Yeah.
But I always try to think of the positives, right? I think without public feedback, without public, what's that word?
Like
criticism, sorry. Without public criticism, right? I would not know my mistakes, really, 100%, right? And I also read comments, and when there are constructive comments, right, where people give their own opinion, you as a host, you as a writer or whatever, right, you need to take this in, right? So then you understand the different camps that the world has. Yeah. So it's not exactly they are hating on you, right? And many times, right, they write it wrongly.
Probably.
You know, many times they deliver it wrongly. It sounds like they are hating on you. And of course, it's text, right? So you create that own tone in your own head, right? But if you look at it constructively, right, a lot of comments make a lot of sense. Except for the ones that, oh, you ugly, you this, you that, don't make sense lah.
Yeah.
So for example, like the Miss Factor one. While I see there's nothing wrong with it, but if you put the Malay and Muslim community into it, I see what's wrong, right? But as a show business, you come on the show, you share your stuff. What's wrong with that? As host, I don't think there's anything wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to content, the topic itself isn't wrong, but I think it's just how you talk about it.
Yeah.
And what kind of audience you are talking to. Because I think whatever audience you have to tweak your message to them, right?
Yeah.
And being on social media, you can never truly know what people's intentions are in the comments. But I also think there's a lot of truth in what people say, despite whatever they say. So for those watching, just know that if you have regrets or you want to change things in your life, there's still so much time and so much opportunity to make changes.
I agree. Again, I think change cannot happen without knowing your mistakes. And the hardest thing to do, honestly, is to forgive yourself.
That's true.
So
Everything starts within yourself before you can show it to the public.
Yeah. Most people forget. Most people will forget after a while. Sorry. Most people will forget after a while. And just work on forgiving yourself. It's a very hard thing to do, but
at the end of the day, I think it's a very individualistic journey. So whatever you do, you don't have to be performative online. And if you do want to start a podcast, you know you can talk about anything else other than women. So for those who are thinking of buying a microphone, the next time you want to create content, just be wary of what you say. The Weekly Deen Show also supports Pertapis and their meaningful mission. And as Ramadan approaches, do consider supporting their meaningful work. Check them out at pertapis.org.sg.